So right here I'm replanting or replacing my spaghetti squash. I've already planted out one courgette plant, but the second one, or the original one I guess, had been eaten. It's still alive, but like barely, so I've left that there. Probably going to replace it because it's basically dead. And here I'm just planting 2 new spaghetti squash plants because they've literally been eaten. The theme of this week's video is everything has been eaten. Why? Stop eating my stuff, for goodness sakes. So I'm running out of room. So I've had this idea. Put this compost heap that's kind of ready to dig out. Don't need the compost this year. It's actually unrotted weeds, but I should pretend they're not there. So I'm just going to plant some spaghetti squash in here as a little experiment. See what happens. These are spares, surplus to my needs. I was just going to give them away, so I thought I'd just plonk them in here. This one's got a weird stem. Its stem is like split. So I'm not really sure what that's going to do. Just didn't want to give it away in case it failed. We'll see. I'll leave the label on it so I can tell that this is the one that had gone funny. And if it survives the slugs, we'll see if it has any effect on it. Slugs and snails are demolished. It wasn't the weather that killed my plants, it was the slugs and snails from planting things too early. 8 my plants. I want to put 3 in here, but I've only bought enough to put 2 in here today. So, going with 2. I'll get some water and water those in a moment. And really unfortunately, a lot of my cucumbers, despite my best efforts, have been demolished, just eaten. They're like covered in this snail stuff. This one's alive, but it might have eaten its growing node. It's the only one that's doing okay. This one's been eaten off at the base, and I think the other ones have as well. I'm going to give them a water Luckily I've grown more cucumber plants at home, just in case this happens. They're obviously not as developed, they're like only teeny weeny shoots right now, but it will go and replace these ones. These are the radishes I planted the other day, and they've also been absolutely demolished, like the leaves. Some of them are doing alright, but the slugs this year are ferocious. Probably because I've taken away all of their grass to eat and live in, so they're cross with me. So I'm just going to give these water. So, in my raspberry bed, I've got a couple of asparaguses just growing. Now, I noticed last year I had some like asparagus flowers in here, and when I was digging the path, I dug up like a little piece of asparagus that had been eaten off at the ground level, so I didn't even see it. And I also found what I think were probably some dead asparagus crowns. Like, they weren't really far into the ground, they were just under the grass, and they were like the wood was totally dead, like they weren't alive anymore. So what do I do? What do I do about having random asparagus in my raspberries? Like, I can't dig it out because it's under all this, and I'm pretty sure there's more pieces in here, because there's this, like, I can't really tell because there's so many weeds, but there's raspberries all around here, and like a sparse patch of raspberry here. So I think there might be asparagus plant in here. This is certainly where the flower was last year, that I need to weed the raspberry bed. But like, what do you do? What do you do about that? Do I just leave it? Do I harvest it? Do I eat it? There's 2 pieces I can see. I mean, I like bacon wrapped asparagus, but I don't think 2 bits is going to hit the spot. So, oh, there's another piece here that's been munched off, like the other one. Like, what do I do? What do we do? What do I do about that? It's just a little mystery find.